live. Can you hear me, Fred?
Loud and clear, Danny House.
Let's go. Let's go. When the audio's working, when we're linked in with our LinkedIn people, when we're having a great day, we do a little first sip first thing in the morning. Fred, how you doing this morning?
Remarkable, Danny the Average Dude. Allison, I hope you are. And I got 2, 3, maybe 4 words for you. First sip, let's go.
It's that first sip. It's the call of the wild. I can't tell you how badly I want to take this first sip.
Do it. Because you see how fast I went right to that.
Thank you, Fred. You know your co-host. You know him.
You were twitching backstage, bro.
I was twitching a little bit. Oh, man. There's something about waiting till this 7:55 for the average dude to see Freddie, to see great passengers on the bus, and to get the day started. What you think, Fred?
I waited this morning. I waited until about 4:40.
4:40, and then you decided to have that first sip of coffee, and we missed you.
Delicious.
We missed you at F3 today. Every time when I didn't have my block, when I got to F3 this morning and I didn't have my block, I said, "Where's Freddie at?" Because Freddie sure as the world gonna say something.
Hey, I had to go to D1 today.
You went to D1, got your workout in, and you got a big day planned today?
Oh, do I ever? It's Taco Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday, let's go. Hey, let's see who's on the bus, and we may have a surprise for one of the bus riders if he's here. If he's here. Let's see what we've got. Look at that, a blast from the past. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be a great day. Great to see Susmitha here. I still have my mug. It's actually back there. She sent us a coffee mug. Fred and I both.
And she actually sent some snacks also. I never got to partake in any
Fred
of that.
didn't get the snacks.
Something happened with the snacks.
Too much time with the snacks, and the snacks went away, but we appreciated it. There's Kimberly. Kimberly, welcome to the bus. Welcome to the bus. She may be here for our guest, and we're not upset. If she's not here for us and she's here for the guest, it's not a problem. We're glad you're here. We hope to get your mind right for a great day this morning, Kimberly. Vicky Watts. Good morning, Vicky. Good morning, y'all. Coffee mug, magic hands, or are those magic? What are those? This right here.
I think those are praise hands.
Praise hands. I like that. Hey, get happy, get your coffee. That's the name of the game, folks. Paul Pappy said, "Get on the bus. Let's go." I like it, Paul Pappy. And he's going to say something wise today. I'm going to predict that Paul Pappy is going to say something wise in the comments. And I skipped over this person. Let's get it, kids. Aaron's coming in with some energy today.
Oh, yeah, all caps.
Hey, who was playing golf with each other the other day? I'm curious about who won the golf match.
Paps and AJ.
Yeah. We need to know how many of each player's shots did we take? That way we can decide who did the best. Thank God it's Tuesday.
Somebody else is fired up.
Making me thirsty. Hey, look at here. Samantha Michael. Good morning, cuz. Tuning in before I head to work. I like that. First time, and that's my cousin. We've got it's like a family reunion this morning. I love that. Great to see you, Sam. Paul Papp, Aaron Jacobitz, thank you for a great day on the course. But I love that. Everybody coming together, get out together, play a little golf, do a little business, and it's good stuff. So hey, Joe says, "Buongiorno." What you got to say about that?
Joey?
Yeah. We were thinking about Joe earlier, weren't we?
Yeah, and here's why.
I didn't know what that was. I called it a wiffle ball.
Joe, he called it a wiffle ball.
That shows you how much. That tells you right there the average dude needs to get out and play a little pickleball. Tell me about pickleball, Fred.
The average dude has never played pickleball, Joe.
I have not.
Joe's got a big tournament coming up, right?
He's got a big tourney coming up. He loves to play. He claims to be pretty good, and I kind of believe him,
That's what he says. I haven't seen any video.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any clips on Sports Center top 10, Joe.
Oh, I know, but that's cool though. I do think that pickleball would be a great sport. Maybe if you and Joe could have a pickleball tournament, I'll be the announcer and call the shots. That'd be fun.
All right, if Joe agrees to play left-handed, I'm in.
There you go. Hey, we've got a great guest this morning. You know, we get on LinkedIn. Some of us have been on LinkedIn for many years now, and we feel like we know people because you might see their posts from time to time and you see them doing things. And that's very often how I find folks, man, I want to talk to that person. I want to get to know who that human being is in lieu of just a few posts here and there. And that's what's so awesome about technology, isn't it? Just reach out.
Is that part of your, you love to say this right here, your real human connection?
Real human connect. Hey, what else will there be? The bots are going to do everything else. We got to be the humans to connect with everybody. But Fred loves it when I say that, but I think it's a big deal. So I'm going to read a little introduction here, and we're going to meet a great guest. Joining us today is a woman whose life is a masterclass in reinvention. We all need that, don't we? Reinvention. Yeah. She is a U.S. Air Force veteran, a former heavy equipment operator.
What?
Right? Who has traded steel and machinery for the world of high energy fine art. Based in Sarasota, Florida, she is the founder of Fine Boat Wraps, where she's disrupting the marine industry by turning yachts and vessels into mobile masterpieces. Oh, she's here to talk about the power of the pivot, the future of communication through art, and why she's on a mission to end the sea of sameness. The sea of sameness. Please welcome to the bus, Ramona Patterson.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. We've got it. I've already got my first question right here ready for you this morning, Ramona. So glad to have you here. What does it take to be a great artist?
The ability to play, to be in touch with that inner child within yourself and not be afraid to make mistakes, because not every painting is going to be great. So you just got to keep going. You have to keep going and learning.
I love it. Letting go a little bit. Are you an artist, Freddie? Do you do any kind of art?
Not really, but last night my 13-year-old had a project where he had to trace a design all over a poster board, and you couldn't really figure out what it was. Right? Mm-hmm. It was just a unique, had some edges on it. And then out of nowhere, my wife looks at it and says, "That looks like Bart Simpson." So he colored the whole thing yellow, put eyes and noses on every single one of them. It looked just like Bart Simpson.
No. Hey, so sometimes you have to play, like Ramona said, and in life sometimes we don't play enough, do we, Ramona?
That is absolutely true. I feel like sometimes I'm aging in reverse because I'm, even though I'm an adult, I'm still making sure that I make time to play. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's something that I picked up on with your LinkedIn. You're always interacting with people. I've seen you meet a lady that looked like a gas station, but she had a pig, and you had the camera, and here she is, she's meeting somebody with a pig. And I just thought that was so cool because you're just doing things, you're living life, and you're out and you see people and you see stuff, and then you engage with them. Is that how that normally works?
Yeah, my daughter says that I've never met a stranger, that like I will talk to everybody waiting in line, and she's like, "Oh God, Mom, you're doing it again," But I everyone has a really cool story, so
Absolutely.
And why not? The world is kind of crazy right now, so why not try to seek out the humanity in each other?
I just think that's a beautiful thing. I mean, when you're around people like that, there's always good energy that comes from those sorts of interactions. And that's what, as I was preparing for this interview, I was thinking, you're communicating even without art. You're communicating with art. You're communicating in the energy that you bring to people. and I think there's a lot to go from that. Hey, Freddie, what were you getting ready to say?
Was the pig on a leash?
No, it was in a it's Florida. It was in a beat up old pickup truck, and I had just gotten in my car, and the lady opened the door to give the girl who was holding the pig sitting in the truck. She was holding the pig, so the lady opened the door, and I'm like, "Is that a pig? Can I please take a video?" And then after it was over with, she put the pig back in the truck, and the pig went nuts over the girl's snacks.
Yeah.
But it was just, critters are cool. How can you not like critters?
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you like to get out a lot. I've seen you rollerblading and doing all sorts of activities outside. Tell us about your exercise routine. We were talking a little bit about exercise this morning. What sorts of things do you like to do?
Well, actually, I'm not rollerblading. I'm riding a machine called a trike, Trikke. So it's like a razor scooter, but it's got two platforms, and the platforms actually pivot. So you're sort of downhill skiing on the sidewalk.
Oh, wow.
Handlebars, disc brakes, 12-inch tires, and it's all the physics of your body that make it move. So
that sounds fun.
I just crank my music and just have a good old time. And before I know it, I'm 10 miles out, and then I go 10 miles back to my car. So I try to get I used to get 3,000 miles a year in on the trail, the Legacy Trail in Sarasota. But as I got older, I couldn't handle the heat so much, so I only ride in the winter now. And then I have to work out in the gym, which I just hate the stinky smell of the rubber, and I know I'd much rather be outside.
There's some mornings that smell just gets to you.
Yeah, and I passed part of the trail. We passed by a couple pickleball courts, and everybody's out there all day long, first thing in the morning, and that's so cool. You got to get out and move. You have to get out and breathe fresh air and see the green in the trees and just move your body. Exercise is the best medicine for everything. You just have to keep moving.
Yeah. Now during the introduction, Daniel mentioned that you at one point in time were a heavy equipment operator.
Yeah, in the Air Force, the largest vehicle I operated was 375,000 pounds gross vehicle weight. So that was, it was called the U-30. It was designed, it had concrete and steel front bumpers. It was designed to tow B-52s, C-5s, KC-135s, the AWACS, all the big planes. So, because once a plane lands, they're not starting it up to put it into a hangar. It lands, it's in the taxiway, and, the crew gets off and everybody starts working. And when everybody's done working, then you got to park the plane or bring it to maintenance or, pulling them in and out of hangars, which was just the coolest job ever.
Absolutely. Take us back in time, the time machine, and go back to when you made the decision to go into the Air Force. What attracted you to the Air Force? Who was Ramona back then? What kind of decisions was she trying to make?
I found a picture of my dad. My dad was in the Air Force as well. He was in Korea, and he was a tail gunner on the B-29s.
Oh, wow.
And our family, we grew up in poverty. So I knew that the Air Force was first of all, I wanted to see the world. I was a big reader. I love to adventure through books. And, the Air Force was my ticket to travel the world. And my mom said I never wavered from this. When I was in the 6th grade, I said, I'm joining the Air Force. She's like, I never wavered in that dream. And I had certain goals within the Air Force that I accomplished. I figured out how the rules worked and used them to my advantage.
Oh, wow.
As we should do in every instance.
In a positive way, only for good, though. I wanted to go to Germany. I got to Germany. It was all about meeting people in the assignment office. And that was a lesson learned from one of my sergeants. He's like, because one guy said, oh, one of my sergeants said, oh, you got to be on base for 3 years before you're going to go overseas. The other sergeant says, come with me. We hop in a truck, go off base, get donuts, go back to the assignment office. And he introduced me to everybody. And he's like, every payday you come in, you bring them donuts. And sure enough, within 9 months, I was off base. And that was a lesson about not using people, but creating relationships. Because the funny thing about that whole story was the guy who worked there, he got himself in the assignment office, he got himself an assignment to Hawaii, but he had plane tickets back in the 70s, 77, 78. He had plane tickets to go to New York City to stay with his family. And he gave me a plane ticket. He gave me his plane ticket. I flew up there. I stayed with his family and met his cousin from Germany. And my first night when I arrived at my base in Germany, she was waiting at the front gate. And I spent the first weekend with her family off base, like immersed in the culture right away.
Oh, wow.
It was meant to be.
Well, you're talking about a lot of things, but Freddie and I both have been in sales and kind of customer facing types of stuff. But what you're sharing right there, even in the Air Force, that's a sales move, right? That is. I mean, you're taking something, you're creating that reciprocity, you're doing good things, but you're showing good energy. That's really how we do and build relationships, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, and plus you get to make good friends and meet new people along the way and say yes to new things. And I'd never been to New York City, and how cool was that,
Absolutely. And that takes me to my next question, which was about trust. What do you think was it that you connect with people, we meet people, but then we connect with them and we form trusting relationships? What do you think takes a relationship from just meeting someone to, hey, you can take my ticket and go up here and stay with my family?
Oh, I was so young and naive.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I see.
But the world was different back then. The world was different. It was a whole different time. But for me, it was just wanting to believe. I want to believe that everybody has the same heart as I do.
Yeah. That can get us into trouble, because I'm the same way. I want to believe that I can trust everyone, but we always have to kind of take a little extra breath and extra thought about it, right? These days.
Yeah. Now that we're older and we've learned how to spot the red flags and the pattern recognition and stuff about how people behave. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes it's still hard to believe, though.
I know, it's so disappointing when someone, violates your trust.
Yeah,
it is. What I want to ask you about next, Ramona, is your thoughts on artificial intelligence. As an artist, I've talked to a lot of artists, and I love art, and we're going to talk about that. But what are your first thoughts when you start seeing everything that's happening with artificial intelligence? Where does your mind go just in general?
Well, there was this whole big backlash when Photoshop, first came out and everything. And there's a certain art form to using technology to create art. But, and I have so much respect for the people who can voice those prompts and create these fantastical worlds and images. But we're learning in the rap industry that that these AI images don't translate to where they can print them and wrap cars with the AI images. That will probably change, I'm sure. But right now, rap shops are saying that they are not, there's like a whole big poster, big red circle with a line through it, where rap shops are not accepting AI images because their designers have to spend so much time and they're recreating these images from scratch. And it's just, there's so many layers to them that it's time consuming and it's just cost prohibitive to try to recreate, that in the rap industry. But
absolutely.
But I think that nothing will ever replace that human emotion that comes from, creating art, that you could see that somebody put their thought into it and their heart into it. And maybe even my, a piece of hair got stuck, there's like
That's
a little,
right.
or there's,
Yeah.
I've got art with thumbprints in it, but it's just kind of lost in the abstraction part of it. So you just leave it like that's, nobody can say it wasn't me,
So-
but
Yeah, I agree with you, and I'd love to hear Freddie's thoughts on this too, or maybe we've got some comments. When we have a guest, it's hard to see all the comments at the same time. But Fred, you got any thoughts about what she said there? What goes through my head? Number one, I wondered how you would answer that question, and I really appreciate the fact it is an art form. Folks that are using AI, there's some art involved in that, and we can respect those skills, right? That we can say that takes some intelligence and some hard work, and they're doing some really great things, and those people will do great. But that being said, the folks that have that ability to be original, to be creative without the help of artificial intelligence, to me, that's a different type of value. That has the imprint of a human. And I think that it'll all shake out in the end, right? The people that are creating solely by themselves, it'll have more value. What do you think, Fred? Am I right or am I wrong, Fred?
Yeah, I'm actually happy to hear that it's not working.
Yeah.
That it still requires a human to make it happen.
Yeah.
I hope there's a glitch in the system for many more years.
Absolutely. Tell us about your art journey. I see the art you have in the background. You've done some fantastic stuff. I love your stuff. Tell us how that started.
Well, my mom is very artistic. She was very artistic, and so we grew up with. We were always drawing or sketching, or something like that. And then, I got busy in the military, being a mom. Then after I got out of the military, working for creating a dispatch operation for a tri-state utility company, and that was like, it took me away from all the fun things, and I was business all the time, And then I had a traumatic brain injury, and in 2003, I think it was, or 2004, around that time. After I recovered, I just started saying yes to everything because nothing scares me anymore. And I moved down to Florida to be, to be closer to my daughter. And I had always joked with her that, oh yeah, I'm going to retire to Florida and take painting classes. So for one Christmas, she gave me a painting class, painting lessons. And I just started painting and giving away my paintings, and people were saying, oh, I would pay money for this. And I'm like, oh, okay. All right.
Okay, I can help you with that.
Yeah. And then I had my art in galleries, and it just felt so limiting as far as only certain people were invited to see, or people who were in the know about galleries, and wasn't available to everybody else. And at the end of the Legacy Trail, at the end of Ringling Boulevard in Sarasota, you wind up at a Marina Jack's. And I was like broke and out of money, out of canvases, and I wanted to create so bad. And I'm like looking at all these white boats bobbing along, and I'm like, oh man, look at all those blank canvases. And it's like, bing, why not? So I did the research, and there are people who are wrapping canvases, and they're great artists out of Australia and stuff, but it's fish related, and that's cool. That's great for fishermen. Like if anybody wants fish, I'm going to refer them to those guys, but I think that with abstract art, I'm just taking a tiny piece of my art and sticking it, that way I don't have to use the whole painting. It's just a little piece that has a pull or something that's interesting to look at,
I love it. If you go to her website and you look at some of these boats, that again, it's a white canvas. Now it has personality. It can. There's something going on here, and I love metaphors and kind of like that. But it's you're painting life. You're taking something that's kind of dull, and putting your mark on it and bringing more energy to it, right? Like there's something about that.
I think so too.
Yeah, so it's something that I think that we can learn. A couple of things, unless Fred's got something, I have another thought that I'm trying to find, Fred.
You know, I just think it's good when somebody is aware enough, which we talked about yesterday. You have the skills, you have the ambition, and you notice the opportunity,
There you go.
and then you pounce on it.
That's it. And a couple of things she said there. She said that nothing scared her anymore, so she was able to do these things. Like, and that's part of what art is. It's a little vulnerable because we're being creative. We're trying to tap into a vibe and an energy, and now we're kind of exposing that. And you're kind of like, oh, is that good, or is that just kind of me being crazy with right? And,
right.
And so you're letting people into your world by showing them the art. So I can see how you need that kind of that flexibility. Fred just doesn't want to stay with us this morning.
One of those mornings.
Someone taught me a really important lesson. They said that, you know, even if someone hates your art, that's a good thing, because that means you elicited a response from them. He said the worst thing is indifference to your art. If somebody goes, but man, if they hate it, oh, did you strike a nerve somewhere, you know? And it's like, so it doesn't scare me. What are you going to do? You know?
Oh, wow. And that is so true. It's true for art, but it's true for anything that we do. When we've done it really, really well, it's going to bring emotion. So it's going to make some people love it and some people maybe not so much.
Yeah.
And we're scared of that line because we're scared of the people that don't like whatever it is that we're doing.
Yeah.
And so it's an odd thing, because the closer we get to that line, the people that do like us are going to like us more, but we're going to also, it's interesting. Fred, what you got on your mind?
I love that line.
You love that. Fred does love that line. He is a basketball official, Ramona.
Yeah.
So he likes to kind of find
People
that
are
line.
angry at me all the time.
People yell at him. So, yeah, but it teaches us different things. I would like for you to speak to some of the folks. Great comments here. We're going to get back to those later today for sure. But speak to those folks that maybe are at a stage where they feel like they may need to reinvent themselves. They may need to try something new, and it takes courage. What would you say to them to encourage them to live a full life for the next step?
I believe that if you have something within you that you've always wanted to do, or that you have an idea, like after my traumatic brain injury, I have global patents too with a medical device, you know, and I never thought I'd have that, but
That's cool.
you know, so I believe that if you say yes, I know it's a cliche term, but say yes to the things that scare you. Like, that's where the growth happens. And you don't have to have it all figured out from start to finish. Just get started. Get started. Surround yourself with people who are like you, who are better than you. Learn as much as you can. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Oh my gosh, I just did a garage floor in Memphis, Tennessee a few weeks ago, and someone who was responsible for the painting, but I should have checked. I accept responsibility for your mistakes. I should have checked that it was the right paint, and I didn't. We just got so excited about the art, and it was the wrong paint, and it cracked. So I apologized. I said, oh my gosh, let me go up there and make it right. So I'm going back up there to make it right in a couple of weeks. But don't be afraid to make mistakes and admit your mistakes, and don't be afraid to just get started. But you have to find something you love. Everybody has certain strengths, you know, like, it's sort of like when you see these inventions that are out there and you're like, oh man, I thought about that years ago. There's that global chain of consciousness where everybody's thinking of the same idea at the same time, but it's the first person to get it to market that's going to win that race.
That's the truth.
You have to take that chance.
You do. We talked about self-awareness yesterday, and the reason we become self-aware is so we can have more courage and not and realize the game that's being played. It doesn't matter if we fail and make a mistake. Like, we're going to grow from that. We're doing something. We're taking action. It feels good.
I would much rather go to my deathbed knowing that I tried everything I wanted to try than lay there saying, I wish I would have done this.
Absolutely.
That, for me, the regret of not trying is the biggest driver of how I move forward, because if I don't give it my best and don't try, then I'm okay with failing, because at least I know I tried, and I really don't care what the armchair quarterbacks sitting on their couch watching, the Kardashians, eating Domino's pizza. I don't care what they think.
Oh man,
Like, they're not out there doing it.
that there is so much more, and and I think about, we could keep going, but I'm getting ready to have to land this plane. But
Sure.
there's so much that we can, looking back, the time that I lost not living in a way of a little more courageously, being so afraid, trying to protect whatever it was that I was trying to protect, was keeping me in this little box. But I'm going to read this comment from Joe, and then we'll give it to Fred for the final thought. Ramona, keep coming to the bus as a passenger after this podcast and invite more to come in. Hey, I like it. I like when Joe says, is that thanks for your thoughts and insights. We all have passion. Don't die with it inside of you. We've got a lot of great comments, but that's why we wanted to have you today. I knew that Ramona would bring great energy and help us get our mind right. So we really appreciate you coming today.
Thank you. Thank you to inviting me for First Sip. I got my protein drink. I am ready to start the day. And yes, I'm going to be a passenger on the bus as often as I can.
Yeah. Just come by and say hello from time to time. And Freddie, final thought on this Tuesday. We got a lot. It's Taco Tuesday. Tell us what to do. Hey.
Freddie.
Hey, the beautiful thing about a live show, you get things like this. But this has been a great thing. And look at this. Wow, even if they hate your art, your messaging, it doesn't matter. That right? We know we're heading in the right direction when you find those haters. That's a good place to be.
Yeah.
So, hey, wait, now Fred's made it back. I got to give him a chance. He might do something fantastic.
Well, you know what? Don't live with the regret of not trying. That's what I wanted to leave you with.
Don't live with regrets. Nobody wants regrets.
Yeah.
And that's what the real message is. And Fred, I'm glad you made it back for that too. So
Yeah.
Me too. It was so great to hang out with you guys and start the day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. See you tomorrow, live 7:55. Let's roll. Bye-bye.